So happiness flipped the script despair to joy. You have a choice. Leo Buscaglia stated, you can choose joy over despair, happiness over tears, action over apathy, growth over stagnation. I got my joy back, a love link story. As a hypnotherapist, I received a referral from a psychiatrist for a 48-year-old woman who was struggling with overwhelming grief. He stated that he had tried everything in his toolbox to help her but was not successful. He suggested that hypnosis might help her. The client came in barely able to speak without crying. She reported that she was a physician and had worked extremely hard throughout her life to provide nothing but the best for her family. She shared her gut-wrenching story of coming home after a long, grueling day of work and receiving a phone call telling her to go to her daughter's house. Nothing could have prepared her for what she would find. Her daughter with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to her head. This mother explained that she was barely functioning and had insomnia, and if by chance she did sleep, she had unrelenting nightmares. She also had a medical practice that needed her. She asked me if I could take her grief away with hypnosis. I stated emphatically, no, and you would not want me to. I reminded her that grief is a part of life and something that she must go through. I explained that grief must be felt deeply and profoundly. She thought she was experiencing it more profoundly than was normal and was not functioning in her daily life. I suggested that we do a protocol called parts therapy. In this type of session, you have a dialogue with the part of you that is struggling the most. Before beginning the session, we set up a powerful anchor or safe place in her mind. Her happy, safe place was floating on Tampa Bay in their boat. Then I induced the trance, which is just deep state of focus and relaxation. I asked her to think about the real issue and notice where she feels it in her body, and then pretend to put it 6 feet out in front of her. Then give it a shape and a color. This is known as parts therapy. I explained that it is just a way to dialogue with her subconscious mind. She asked the part of herself that was struggling this question: was it my fault that Tabby killed herself? From there, she regressed back in time to when she first felt like it was her fault that her daughter struggled. She regressed back to when her daughter was 3 years old, and she had hired a nanny. She did a Gestalt protocol where she would imagine or pretend that her daughter was in front of her. She then had a metaphorical dialogue with her. The daughter told her mother that she understood why she hired a nanny and that she knew her mother was trying to make a better life for the family. I then directed her to say the following to her daughter, metaphorically. When you killed yourself, it made me feel, and it is affecting me now. And then explain how it is affecting you. The mother stated, when you killed yourself, I felt like it was all my fault. I thought that I should have been able to prevent this and should have saved you. She then switched roles and pretended to be her daughter and answered back. Her metaphorical daughter stated, Mom, my killing myself had nothing to do with you. I know that you loved me and did your absolute best. This was my journey, and I felt, at that moment in time, I did not have any other options. I could not bear the pain that my addictions had caused me. I was the one who got involved with the wrong people. It was not your fault. The mother answered her back. I felt so guilty when I hired a nanny when you were only 3 years old, and I was not there to take care of you. I think that is why you struggled so much and got involved in drugs. She then reverted to being the daughter and said, Mom, I know you worked hard to provide for us, and you did what you felt was right. You are a great mom. I know you loved me. Again, Mom, this is my journey. The client was sobbing almost hysterically up until this point. She opened her eyes and smiled the biggest, brightest smile. Her face was beaming. She said, Look, can't you see? Can't you see them? Look, look, there are 2 angels standing right there behind my daughter. Can't you see them? I could not see the angels. However, I was acutely aware of a powerful, loving energy. To this day, I find it hard to explain. It was the most profound sense of peace and love that I had ever felt in my life. I have no words to adequately explain the powerful energy in that room at that time. By the end of the session, this mother's face was glowing. She said, "I know. Without any doubt or reservation, my Tabby is better than okay, and she is living with God and His angels. I have a strong sense of peace in knowing that." She called to tell me that she had her joy back, and that she has 100% faith and trust that she will reunite with her daughter one day. She understood on a deep level that she had to move forward in her life to fulfill her life's purpose. She knows that there will be times where she will feel deep and gut-wrenching sorrow, and that is okay. It is normal and expected with such an enormous loss. However, what she knows deep down in her soul, she can choose joy over sorrow. Note: we did a neutralizing of trauma protocol on the next visit. Thank you for listening to So Happiness.